Hi, welcome to the gut portion of holistichealingdiagnostics.com. Below, I have laid out some of the functional lab tests that I most commonly use with my clients when investigating the root causes of their gut-related health issues. Just as a disclaimer, these are not the only labs that I have available in this area of health. They are simply the ones that I most frequently use when working with my clients. I've detailed each specific lab below, how you can benefit from it, what kind of markers it looks for, and what kind of information you can expect to gain from running said lab. If you have any questions about what lab work I use or details about a specific lab, please go ahead and book a free consultation with me. I am happy to go over any curiosities or questions that may arise when you are looking at this webpage. So, why is functional lab testing so important when we are dealing with gut health and gut-related disorders? First of all, the gut is truly at the core of your being, and it is at the core of any inflammatory related symptom that you may be experiencing. And this covers a wide array of different health symptoms, such as psoriasis, any inflammation having to do with the skin, arthritis, any inflammation having to do with the joints or joint stiffness, migraines, brain fog, anxiety, or any inflammatory related disorders of the brain, such as ADHD or depression, or simply any situation that is causing distress within your gut and causing hindrance in your digestive system. If you are experiencing excessive gas, bloating, cramping, abdominal pain, constipation, diarrhea, acid reflux, histamine intolerance, the gut-related issues just go on, and we can deeply resolve such issues by using functional lab testing to our advantage. Without functional lab testing acting as a sort of guidepost, which helps us know what to address and where to go, you are left sort of wandering around in the dark, not knowing what is out of balance in your gut, what foods are causing an inflammatory response, what you may need to detox, or what good bacteria you may need to replenish. And instead, you are playing guessing games and going around and around in circles, trying to make dietary changes, experimenting with different supplements, and just not seeing any real tangible results. Holistic healing does take time. This is not an overnight kind of a thing. But when you don't know what you're addressing and you don't have any real goalposts set out, it can be really hard to know whether or not you're progressing in the right direction and whether or not you have any hope of resolving this issue in the future. Some aspects of gut health that are really essential to the holistic well-being of your entire body is the health and integrity of your gut lining, the strength, the vitality of the microvilli on your gut lining, the strength and health of the epithelial lining, which is that single cell lining in your gut that protects you from inflammatory substances getting into your bloodstream, but is also responsible for opening up to allow vital nutrients in. The health of the good and bad bacteria and the balance of these bacteria in your gut microbiome, which contributes to the health of your immune system, food sensitivities, inflammation, the gut lining, and so much more. and the health and ability of your gut to detox very important things from the liver, such as your excess hormones. All of these things are quintessential to a healthy, functioning digestive tract, to being able to break down and assimilate vital nutrients that are literally the source, the essence of life, that provide your body the ability to repair damaged cells, to build healthy bone and tissue, to build healthy muscles, to provide you with the substrate for building and creating healthy hormones to keep all of your hormones in balance. The gut is integral to all of these things within the body. And the reason it's so hard to pinpoint what foods you are reacting to, what foods are contributing to any generalized inflammation you may be experiencing, is because the symptoms that arise from food sensitivities and food reactivity, which, by the way, are unique to each individual person, can come up and reveal themselves as much as 1 to 2 weeks after you've consumed the food. I mean, can you imagine trying to track which food caused a reaction that started the cascade over a week before the symptom even showed up? I mean, it's almost impossible. So while elimination diets and slowly reintroducing foods to see what is causing a reaction in your body can be a viable option for trying to identify what's causing you distress, a far more efficient way to do so is through food sensitivity testing. And the food sensitivity test that I use most frequently in my practice is called the LEAP MRT food sensitivity test. And the reason this test is so special is because it doesn't just test for immunoglobulins such as IgG or IgA, but it actually tests for a wide array of inflammatory responses such as histamine, along with a few others, to give us an idea of not only what's activating the immune system, but what's causing our body to release inflammatory compounds that are going to damage our microvilli, damage our gut lining, and contribute to generalized inflammation that can be a part of why we're experiencing insomnia, skin issues such as psoriasis, rashes, back pain, neck pain, joint pain, and so many other inflammatory symptoms throughout the body. So that's just a brief overview of some of the stuff that can be resolved when we really use functional health practices and functional lab testing to identify what's wrong and to restore the gut. We can resolve skin-related issues, brain-related issues. We can resolve things like arthritis. We can resolve a lot of hormonally related issues due to lack of estrogen detox or other hormone detox within the body that may be contributing to things such as menstrual irregularities, painful periods, heavy bleeding, migraines, fatigue, and so much more. We can address things like anxiety, we can address things like minor depression, and we can work to restore your body's immune system and even reverse things as severe as autoimmunity, which originates strongly in the gut. I'm going to now provide you an example of one of my favorite, most foundational functional lab tests. I'm going to show you some of my own results of a GI map so that you can gain a better understanding of the kind of value that is packed into a functional lab test like this one. So this is my most recent GI map, and I have been working to resolve some severe bacterial overgrowth that contributes to things such as autoimmunity for the past 6 to 12 months. When you get a GI map, you get a meticulously charted map of all kinds of things that reside within the gut, and that includes good bacteria strains, bad bacteria strains, pathogens, parasites, candida, and other gut-related markers that can tell you how your pancreas is performing, how you're breaking down your fats, and whether there is other inflammatory response happening, whether that is reactivity to anti-gliadin, which is a component of gluten, or whether we have inflammation from food reactivities, from toxins released from bad bacteria, etc. It gives us so much information. It is jam-packed. So it starts out by showing your pathogens and any parasitic pathogens, viral pathogens. If any of these come up on your test, you're going to get a recommendation for a doctor, and they would probably prescribe you an antibiotic of some sort, which is one option that you can take, or we can deal with this using holistic herbs to paralyze, kill, and eradicate these pathogens and parasites. Using natural substances is also an option. H. pylori is a very common infection, and that's why it is one of the first things that comes up on the GI map. Here we have a list of our good vital bacteria. This bacteria is so important to having a healthy immune system, having a healthy gut lining that's going to help you break down your food, assimilate your nutrients, as well as detox your excess hormones, detox your estrogen to contribute to a healthy menstrual cycle. As you can see here, my good bacteria, a lot of them are coming back into the green zone, which is good because when I ran my test many months ago, I had major overgrowths of most of my good bacteria all the way in the red zone, which can lead to or contribute to SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, which will wreak havoc on your digestive system, causing things such as acid reflux. And as you can see here, you can identify exactly what strain of good bacteria you really need to supplement through probiotics. Here we have other examples of what are called opportunistic overgrowths. These are bad bacteria that move in when you have dysbiosis in the gut. They see an opportunity and they fill the void and they populate your GI tract, and they can cause so much inflammation by releasing these toxins such as lipopolysaccharides, otherwise known as LPS, which is just one of the inflammatory toxins they can release, which can majorly impact inflammation all throughout the body, including in the brain and the joints and the skin. These kinds of overgrowths can also contribute to blood sugar dysregulation, mood swings, depression, insomnia, and so much more. As you can see, I still have a few in a higher zone, so it's important for me to take these down, and I'm doing this using holistic supplementation. We also get a picture of fungi and yeast strains such as Candida. We get a look at viruses such as cytomegalovirus and Epstein-Barr, which are very common viruses that can exist within the GI tract. And here we have parasites. As you can see, I have Blastocystis hominis, which can take a very long time to eradicate. Parasites don't always show up on the first GI map, but I used to have this parasite here, Dientamoeba fragilis, which I have eradicated through a parasite detox, and now I am dealing with the Blastocystis hominis. And then we also get an idea of what kind of intestinal health markers we have for digesting fat. Elastase 1 is a pancreatic enzyme, and mine is very low, so I do take a pancreatic enzyme as well as digestive enzymes to help alleviate the stress on my pancreas. And we also have some other inflammatory markers. So that is just a quick overview of the kind of things you can expect to find in a GI map. It is jam-packed with value and absolutely essential when looking at healing from inflammatory chronic symptoms and healing from digestive distress and hormone imbalance. It really has a wide array of implications. Because the hormones are so involved in the digestive system, because they are detoxed by the GI tract via the liver, and because they are also responsible for regulating so many of your digestive processes, I also often will run some form of hormone testing, most commonly the Dutch hormone test, with my gut health clients. It's so important not to look at anything isolated in a bubble, but to always get a full snapshot of the holistic organism, everything that's going on, support the body from all angles, and this is how we really achieve the best results. This is how we excel beyond what a traditional doctor can offer and beyond what so many other holistic practitioners can offer out there in the world today. If what you see here intrigues you, then please go ahead and schedule a free health consultation with me. I would be so happy to get to know you, to learn more about what you've been experiencing, what your main health complaints are, what your concerns are, and to see if we would be a good fit to offer you support in navigating your health journey, clearing up the why behind the symptoms that you've been experiencing, and really charting the best path forward when it comes to healing your gut. And if you want to stay super up to date with all my new offerings, go ahead and subscribe to my newsletter in the menu above.